The shift is really this exponential effect that's been categorized into a couple of laws. Things like Moore's law, or things like Ray Kurzweil has his law of acceleration. And what that means is that these big platform shifts, whether it's in cloud computing, whether it's the proliferation of mobile devices, is causing technology to double every 18 months and the price to halve every 18 months. Now the hardware side is starting to slow down, but the software side is kicking off, and that's where the law of acceleration kicks in, which is about building technology and then using that technology to build even better technology. So we're seeing this massive exponential effect that's really going to impact consumers, businesses, and how we talk to our consumers. So delightful experiences are going to become your core differentiators. Most products are becoming services. A great example is Uber, of course. It was a car, now it's a service. And how are you going to differentiate in that space? So really, how do you change the experience to be delightful, incredible, whatever is suitable for your brand? The difficulty is, what is that? And an analogy I like to use in banking terms would be, say, if you're in a branch, and a branch is not a happy space at the moment, but if we could make it something like you walk in and there's a red carpet for you, you'll have your favorite drink ready, there's no queue time, you get to speak to people in their first names, transact, do whatever you needed to do in the bank and leave. Whether or not that's the real world experience, or do we replicate that in the world of digital? The big idea, I'm being very controversial saying it's dead. And maybe I'm going to refine it a bit more like in my speech, which was really, how do you iterate on a big brand? So you might have a really good idea, but how do you know if it's going to work or not? And what generally happens in today's world is that we go for it, we do the big idea, we execute, and we really have no idea if it was a hit or win. In this new world, it's about being hyper efficient. It's about iterating and tweaking that big idea to not just be a big idea, but a great idea. To execute on that requires a different level of partnership with brands. It's no longer about being an agency on the outside, it's about getting together and being a team with your brand. And then you start using different ways of work, whether it's working in an agile format or lean startup, to really cycle through the idea, learn from it. So you're going to take your data points, whether it's how many people were at an activation, what people thought of the activation, or in media terms, especially digital, understanding the engagement levels, and then tweaking your product or big idea, because the end result is to sell more relevant product.